So, who wants to play some D&D?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, we need my character to drop off the guy that we tied up, and I'm going.
Yes,
going to return.
canonically, you still have that guy.
I still have him. Yes.
Yeah, with his arms and legs embalmed in a
Kobold.
sphere of rope.
Yes.
All right. Well, hello and welcome to Cause and Effect. This is a homebrew 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. My name is Crash. I'll be your DM for the evening. Tonight I am joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, Jen, Milo. And what happened last time besides someone getting their arms and legs encased in a sphere of rope?
Nobody knows. It is a mystery.
So we went to Fantasy Hilton's luncheon for those points, and it wasn't enough points, and it didn't go well, and it was boring. Someone tried to give me a plot, and so I left.
The internet died.
And Ellie demonstrated by leaving, but thank goodness she came back.
Cellular
and then
now.
Io left, but that's for Wi-Fi.
But yes, we got into a tussle with the Fantasy Hilton luncheon person because they were trying to use like mind control like with the food, but you know I'm too stupid to get caught by it, and other people were fine, and we left because also by the way like I have my Fantasy Hilton card and it probably has more points than that anyway, so who cares?
Also, there was magic in the food, so
Yes.
that was kind of the key.
It's the mind control, it's fine.
Yeah, that's where the mind control came from, and yeah. So we have a guy tied up that my character is carrying back to the base, and we'll see whatever they want done with him. I'm quite used to. I was a bounty hunter in a previous world, and so I think I know what I'm about to do. Let's see what they think.
Understanding with the cleaner lady.
That's right.
Oh, that was her last day.
She opened the door, said, "Wow, look, my shift's done," and walked away when she saw the giant mess of us tussling with that man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, no, at that point you were already in the lobby. You'd left
That's
that
true.
room.
That's
But
true.
there were still a party of adventurers in there arguing with each other, as well as two very large hippo people wearing colonial British uniforms and carrying smoothbore muskets.
Yep.
And a significant amount of food boxes that have been strewn everywhere, as is the custom of A.
Poppy was trying to stack them up neatly behind
Oh yeah, there's one that's stacked neatly, but that was the one. The other pile over to the side behind the other hippo person is, yeah, that didn't go so well. And welcome back.
Thank you.
Now we just have to hope that it works for EO as well. So, doing a slight jump, well, not jump, do a smash cut, and you're back at Flag Headquarters,
Right.
and you're looking through the little window thing at the main entrance, and the guy behind the counter is just like, the quest wasn't to hog-tie the quest giver and bring them here.
Well, once you
are
find
we-
out what he's done, you'll agree that this was the quest.
He gave us lunch! How dare he?
No, I can explain a bit.
Caused damage.
Something magical that biologics could eat and then be apparently convinced to buy more timeshares.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's kind of a problem, and honestly, I don't really understand what many of the biologicals have said, but in my days wandering around here, I've heard the phrase, we have to throw out the whole man, so here he is.
There's some of what you've said that if I spend any time thinking about it, I'm going to be very concerned. So I'm just going to ignore things you've said and think this might explain why Mo was complaining recently about the collective intelligence of people in his hometown going down.
The collective intelligence or wisdom, it depends on which saving throw they were having to make against the food.
The person behind the counter blinks at you.
All right, so do you want us to... Where do we bring him?
We don't actually have a protocol for that. I'm gonna have to go talk to someone. Thank you for not trying to shove him through the little hole in the window here.
Well,
I do
I
appreciate
figured
that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought maybe that was the route, but I guess I'm wrong.
No, his head is obviously larger than the hole. Frugal, by the way, at this point, is openly weeping because he is aware that he has been carried here by a robot that very well could shove him through that tiny hole.
Yes.
He would fit eventually. He would not appreciate it.
Sticky.
All right, so fast forward another 30 minutes, and someone has talked to someone's superior, who's talked to someone else's superior, who talked to legal, who talked to a therapist, who talked back to the superior, and then got demoted for talking back to the superior. But eventually someone came over and said, we'll take him off your hands. Flotsam doesn't really have much of a law enforcement department, so we'll figure out something. Just go and you have a quest to do or something?
Probably. Don't let this man anywhere near food service.
Yeah, I gathered from what was shared, and
Right.
This explains some of the financial situations for some of the other cohorts, actually. So there's going to be a lot of conversations about this, fortunately. But good job.
All right.
Person should reimburse some people.
Probably. All right. And I pick him up off my shoulders, raise him over my head, attempt to lean him into the corner of the two walls there, and there you are.
You sort of prop him up to the side.
Yes.
He slides down immediately. He's ragdolled.
That didn't work very well, but all right.
Maybe if you hang him on one of the coat hooks or something?
I
Only
don't
if
know
they're
if that
sturdy
would-
enough.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to hold his weight. He's pretty hefty with all the rope and all, so yeah.
One of the coat hooks is currently holding a full suit of plate armor.
Oh, well
Mm.
then. Yes, dangling from a coat hook. That seems tidy. Just not from any of the bits around his neck.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean,
We got all that rope.
yeah,
You have the sphere of rope. So you hang him on the coat hook by the sphere of rope.
by the sphere of rope.
Yes. Because
There you
A
are.
rolled an 11 on a sleight of hand check.
Right. Yes, he did.
Which technically was a success, but not by much.
Right. Mm-hmm.
A just didn't
No,
know when to stop
the
using the rope.
reason that Chadrick isn't saying anything is because he would like to postpone plot as long as possible. And he knows that as soon as we're done here, we're going to actually, do work.
No, we are not going to do work. It's already been established that Chadrick will be the one doing the work because A can't go into people's dreams. Hobby can't go into people's dreams. Tex has established that Tex can, in fact, get into someone's head, but not in a way that the person would appreciate.
And no one should get into my head.
Cogbucket has already done it.
Well, that was with consent.
Yes,
Consent is important,
it certainly is.
especially when you're having a war machine who is the person who needs to consent or not. Because if they don't consent, well,
Problems.
problems.
Yes, and
nice
more about that will
community.
come up later.
Excellent.
All right, so we're going to jump ahead again. Another smash cut. Maybe one of those Adam West Batman things where the spinning head of A zooms in, blocks out the entire camera, then zooms away again. And now you are on the beach. A is throwing up because A was just spinning around a lot.
Poor A. Pat,
Yes.
pat, pat.
But you're at the beach, up current from the main part of Flotsam. But
My
there's
character
still...
sheet.
What's this?
I just was like, wait, I should open my character sheet.
For the Kobold game, I didn't have my helper NPC's character sheet open up until we started getting into combat one time. So, it's fair. Oh,
I feel that I probably should.
it's been a while since I opened up your character sheet. Looking at these stats, I knew these stats. This is not the first time I've looked at your character sheet, but I've been reminded about how low they actually are.
That's the reason my friend was screaming at me.
And you made now you can make a Dexy Paladin. You did not.
The worst paladin.
No, there are many paladin builds where what you want is a high charisma because you're focusing on spellcasting. You don't focus on spellcasting though.
Big.
Oh, this is glorious.
Let's be honest. When's the last time I hit somebody with a weapon?
Wait, have you hit anyone with? I don't think you've. I don't think you
He used
have.
my whip once.
Yes, and it was against Tex because Tex was imitating an alarm clock.
Yeah, usually.
The most ill-advised time to use a weapon is when it's against a 7-foot-tall murder bot.
Yeah, I have purposefully avoided like all combat.
I love everything about this. Anyway, you're in front of a set of huge double doors that go into a cliff face. A little bit further to the south, on your approach, you did see that there was another part of this underground complex that juts out with a very large ballista that is manned, or rather kobolded, by 2 kobolds, who it apparently takes 2 because when they were aiming in your direction, because they didn't know who you were, they both had to sort of grab onto the front of it to have their weight start to pull it down slowly.
Dear.
Yeah. This structure was apparently not made for kobolds. They just live here now.
Hmm.
And Longcap's on the other side of the doors.
Nice long kip on the other side.
I took Longcap's icon for this, yes.
Ah.
I want to differentiate this character from the other kobolds.
That'll do.
So the doors open up and this character comes through. They are dressed similar to Longcap in that they're wearing a black sort of flowing robe hood type thing. That it doesn't hide that they're a kobold. Imagine, if you will, one kobold in a trench coat. But the trench coat has been hemmed appropriately. So, you're a tall one.
Nod solemnly.
Anyway.
I am here to help with the nightmare situation.
I thought so. You know, it took forever to convince the rest of the clan to, union, they call themselves a union here, to agree to it. Something about being, paranoid, not necessarily meaning they're not all out to get you. They used a lot of negatives in the sentence, and it took me a while to wrap my head around it.
So they want help or they don't?
Well, let's put it this way. I'm a relatively new arrival. I've only been here for a few weeks or so, and it took me that entire time to convince them that daily nightmares and the occasional person who dies in their sleep from terror aren't normal.
No.
And they were just like, well, we're not getting eaten by dragons, so it's okay. And I said, you're still dead.
That's fair.
Very fair.
And then they said, no, we're not dead. We're talking to you. And I said, but Bob's dead. Well, his name wasn't Bob. I didn't learn their names yet. Never mind. Come on in.
As well.
Follow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you enter the double doors over what are very clearly not very well disguised trapdoors.
Can we sort of tiptoe between them?
I'm pretty sure you can walk comfortably.
Yeah, there are kobolds on either side looking through barred windows with hands on levers ready to go, but nothing happens as you go over, whether or not you try to be careful. I'm not even going to require a roll. You enter a room that, well, you can see the dimensions here. The squares are 5 foot, by the way, so it's a relatively small space if you're, a medium-sized creature. For kobolds, it's a gigantic room with a fireplace, which currently doesn't have a fire in it, and lantern sconces on either side, which are currently not lit because kobolds can see in the dark.
Mm.
So, you arrived at a good time because it's daytime and most of us sleep at night. So, yeah, there's probably a few having nightmares right now. So, if you go around here and through here, and he starts leading you through.
Okay.
The hallway.
Can Hobby quickly peek just to see if the fireplace is likely to be usable or if there are like terrible things up the chimney?
Give me an investigation check.
Investigation. All I ever wanted.
Oh no. No.
This is Chadrick
No,
walking
I
the
don't
entire
think
way.
I'm going to give you an investigation check. That one is terrible.
Well, for the briefest of moments, you're pretty sure you see a glowing evil eye staring down at you from the abyss. Wait, no, that's daylight. That's daylight. You're looking up through the chimney. It's going up.
Called the sun.
Okay.
Curse you, Daystar! My retinas are burning.
At least I didn't get a face full of soot. Okay, time to catch up.
Pocket sand.
Actually, give me a dexterity check. Roll versus soot.
Oh.
Dexterity check. Is that a saving throw or is that
Check. We're
okay.
not trying to avoid damage, so it's a check. Yeah. As you pull your head out, there's like the traditional something falls down the chimney and there's a cloud of soot, and you just sidestep all of it. And as A follows you, A is, by the way, now a black-scaled kobold.
Oh.
Because you sidestepped out of it, but A was just standing there behind you and like, oh, why are you moving out of the way so...
Yeah.
Sorry.
A is still now occasionally just coughing, and black soot comes out of their mouth every time they do. It's adorable and pitiful.
Oh.
You look very dashing now, eh? The soot is very, very sneaky.
But I'm supposed to be a rouge, not a noir.
Okay, anyway.
You could draw little patterns that are both dashing and red.
Are you trying to tell him to like make himself look like Darth Maul?
That would be awesome.
Dun, 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 dun.
How big is the room's big enough for the mechanoids, right?
Yeah,
basically.
This structure was clearly made for, at the very least, medium-sized creatures. For an underground complex, the ceilings are, in fact, pretty high up. They're about 10 feet up. So if Tex really needed to block the path for something that was walking across the ceiling, Tex could do it. But
doesn't have to.
No, because that would imply that the plot was taking place. And we all know how we feel about plot. The true plot is the off-topics we made along the way.
Yes.
Yeah, you're allergic to plot.
Well, you are.
Also why Chadrick is actually in the entire way. He's really glad of the fact that he knows that kobolds don't really take much stock in that. So he can do whatever he wants without affecting.
Z's probably just assuming that Chadwick has walked this entire way, head back and ragdolling, going the entire time.
Pretty much.
Because Chadwick is aware that Chadwick will never be as cool as kobolds are.
No, it's more of the fact that he actually has to do work.
Yeah.
And he knows it, and he's like willingly approaching it. It didn't just stumble onto him.
So, not all of us are here because, we work in shifts. So, and Z opens up this door and there's no one in it. Okay. Let's go to this one. Z opens up this door and there's 3 kobolds sleeping in hammocks, and there's one of them does a and the next one goes
Gosh.
and they're rotating through. The 3 of them are doing that.
That's really incredible.
So it's an audio wave kind of thing going past
Pretty
each
much.
one.
Pretty much.
Do any of them look like they're having a nightmare?
No, they all look like they're sleeping peacefully right now.
Are there any that are having nightmares?
Well, sometimes they're loud about it, sometimes they're not, and right now they're not being loud about it, so we just gotta check each room. And Z opens the next door.
Okay, can I do a quick cursory glance of each of their brains?
Give me an investigation check.
13.
All right, well, one of them is dreaming about having an argument about how to sort moss.
That one is a maybe.
They seem to be enjoying it. Your guess with your investigation roll is that they're winning the argument, but honestly, it seems like everyone involved is still losing because they're arguing about how to sort moss.
The argument of itself is a loss.
Yeah.
So then I go to the next room.
So you write that whole room off as a loss. Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. In this room, there's one kobold tossing back and forth going, Destiny! Destiny! No escaping! That's for me!
Okay, I look at that one.
Apparently, they read a novel recently about a mad scientist that made a kobold by sewing a bunch of dead bodies together.
Oh,
dear. That sounds mildly.
I could see Gene Wilder saying it, but I couldn't remember what it was from.
By the way, that line is stuck in my brain anytime anyone ever says the word destiny or talks about Destiny's offspring. Okay.
I think I caught that.
Destiny's Child. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right. So, there aren't as many in this room. 2 of them are, well, you walked past them on the way in, I think. We all look alike to me, really. Chadwick is still apparently going through the book. Got the one kobold, right?
I'm just staring at that one kobold's brain.
Yeah, they're basically just reliving the story.
Oh, well, then that's boring. I don't read.
Well, that's just it. They read for you.
Gosh.
Actually, further investigation reveals that someone read it to them. They did not read it either.
Aw.
Oh, they listened to the book on tape, and that's why it's scary.
Because the person did character voices.
Yes, exactly. It's very scary.
Okay, in this room, give me an investigation check. I should have done it for the last room, but I wanted to get to the joke
I
line.
did an 11. Let's check
A
this
new
one.
11.
13 again.
Okay, you're doing so well.
Concerning.
So, yeah, these two are... well, one of them is shivering, but the other one is barely breathing. Like they're holding their breath, and when you investigate their brain, they're holding their breath because in their dream, they are trying to not breathe, because if they breathe, they will make a sound. And if they make a sound, then the giant green dragon with one eye will chew them into little pieces.
Repeat that. Sorry, I zoned out.
They're dreaming about a giant one-eyed green dragon hunting them.
I relay this to the Brady Bunch.
Is that where we are now? Okay.
It is now.
So, I don't really understand how you get into their heads and fix things, but maybe do a bit of that.
I mean, that's what their brain's telling me. That's
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Maybe
they
wake
don't
them.
seem particularly pleased.
Thing is, a few of us were around when there was an ancient green dragon with one eye that would occasionally eat one of us. So that might be a nightmare based on actual life experiences.
Mm.
To read the mind of the one showing us around.
I heard to read the mind of the one showing us around, but
Yes,
I didn't hear
I
what came
want.
before that. Okay. What do you want to know?
Well, apparently I'm not going to know much, but
That's a 2. All right. So,
but I do want to say the reasoning is that I don't know. I feel like he's lying. Not about
Okay.
the nightmares. I believe those are happening, but I have a feeling that he might be causing them because he seems to know an awful lot about them.
okay. Well, I've been doing the investigation checks for you to read more deeply into things or to put 2 and 2 together and see if you can get 4. But it's built in. You can see surface thoughts just fine.
Yeah.
The surface thoughts that you see from Z, and this is not a case where I'm saying you get pushed out of Z's head or whatever. No, you see them. Z is honestly concerned that these nightmares are happening. Multiple kobolds have died of fright, including kobolds they left on guard duty to guard sleeping kobolds, thinking it was going to be something that was coming in to do it. Those kobolds died of fright.
Okay.
Awake? Or they fell asleep and...
Well, they were the ones that were awake and guarding. So you could ask them, but you'd need a priest.
But that I had slight concerns because the way that the wording was kind of suspicious. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
Maybe we should wake up the one having the nightmare
I,
and check
Before
the
it
other one.
stops breathing.
I will add, Z is disinterested enough in the individual lives of these kobolds that they still have not learned anyone's name.
Yeah, because that's the thing is like came back and I tried to convince him, and then also like whatever. I'm like, no, I don't know. But let me think.
But still, a union isn't very effective if all of its members die in their sleep.
I do ask, one of y'all wake him up while I go to the next room.
Okay.
Go in and wake up the one who is holding its breath and is going to put a little soot mark somewhere it's not likely to get rubbed off easily.
Give me a dexterity check at disadvantage.
Ooh, okay, so I have to roll it twice?
If you right-click on the number, you should be able to just have it roll twice for you automatically and tell you the lower number.
The lower number is a 22.
Wow.
Nice. We're not even really high level yet. Okay, so you get the sense that you need... You know how cats will just... they'll look off in a direction and you look in that direction, there's nothing there?
Uh-huh.
You get the sense like there's something there and you need to step around it. So you do step around it. Congratulations. Now roll for initiative.
Oh.
That's
All of it?
That is a terrible roll. Why do I keep rolling terrible
Oh.
initiatives?
I have a worse roll than you, I assure you.
Oh, well, I'm glad someone does.
I have a 3.
Well, these things, they happen.
Well, the healer goes
I
last,
beat
so we're
you.
good.
Oh, yeah. I'm not really a healer, but sure.
Well,
I beat you.
you can slap a Band-Aid on them. The Band-Aid may
I
be
got
made out of a piece of
for
metal.
that initiative.
Could be.
You got a what? Oh
A nat
no.
one.
That's and Tech's got a
Well,
25.
The good news is there's no such thing as a crit fail or crit success when you're rolling for initiative.
Thank
I'm
goodness.
just very slow.
Okay. Tex,
Mm-hmm.
you are aware that something is horribly wrong.
My kind of party.
However, you cannot see any opponents, unless you want Z to be an opponent.
I will hold my action.
Okay.
Everybody on your toes.
Nexus are not appearing in this film, because I overload the encounter tracker with people who might be involved, but in this case, they're not. Hobby, it's your turn. You're pretty sure there is something invisible in this room with you, and you just walked around it.
Hobby lash out with the handkerchief that Hobby has been using to try to give a Darth Maul decorations by cleaning the soot off in proper patterns, and try to hit the invisible thing with the sooty handkerchief.
I am going to say that a handkerchief counts as a finesse weapon in this case.
Okay.
It doesn't do damage, but I'm going to count it as a finesse weapon. Therefore, you may make a dexterity check to see if you hit it. It's going to be a disadvantage because it's invisible.
Disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah, so roll again. Because 24 would hit.
Well, 15.
A 15 misses. So you lash out with the soot handkerchief going, aha! You have successfully sent a few soot particles onto the floor. All right. It
Can
is
I
the
yell
invisible
one
thing's
thing
turn.
out?
Yes.
Can I yell out, "Hey, roll soot on the floor so invisible things will make footprints"?
That's a catchphrase.
Thank you.
Groveling. Understood.
Well done.
I'm proficient in it.
Wait, there's an invisible thing?
Well, not anymore. It just became visible.
Crash, how did I not
Whoa.
see that in my brain when I was mind reading?
It was
Because you
hiding.
couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, I have to see it. I
Well,
forgot.
that's my cue.
There's the enemy.
Yes, you were holding
Hey.
your action.
Mm-hmm.
Still in another room. I can't believe that I'm still yet to actually take care of combat because I'm over here.
You walked
Chadwick
into
locks the
another room.
door. I can't get out. Help! Help! I'm trapped in here with these
Trapped in
kobolds.
Another room. I will never do combat.
What is that thing?
So,
Besides
Tex, what do you
terrible.
do?
looking.
It's a
I
good
need to check something
paladin.
real quick.
Is that your action, Dex? No.
I'm such a good paladin. Never doing combat, never casting spells, never fighting.
By the way, here is a picture of a larger picture of what it is. It's floating.
Oh, wow.
And it has
floating.
some tentacles. It has 3 mouths. It has a significant number of eyes. Imagine, if you will, a ghost brain spider thing.
This is what happens when you get the ghost of a beholder that made sweet woo with a spider.
Oh. It seems fitting.
There's
though,
so
looking at
much of that
image.
sentence that I'm just not going to process.
Uh-huh.
I think that that's a good choice.
Okay. So I can't get into the room with it.
It is occupying those 4 squares. So unfortunately, no.
You could reach in and try to drag it out by one of its tentacles.
That's an idea. Let me. Sorry. Okay. I am going to grapple it.
All right, give me a grapple check.
I am seeing how to do that.
All right, so
I am seeing if I have inspiration. I do not.
I think I remember when you spent it.
Yes.
Because I edited that session last night. So you go to grapple it, and you reach for one of the tentacles that sort of moves out of the way. It's hard to tell if it moved instinctually or if it was doing that thing that little kids do when you go to give them a high five and they pull their hand away real quick. That doesn't hurt me emotionally when my students do that. Why do you ask? Moving forward. But
All right.
you are unable to grapple it.
Well, I'm going to try again.
Why not?
Technically, I shouldn't be allowing that unless you action surge, but I don't mind doing a grapple check as an attack.
If you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them.
Oh, then never mind. I sit corrected and will allow the thing that I said I was going to allow.
That's a 19.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Well, then never mind. He grapples you.
Um, well, kind of, sort of. It goes in for a bite.
That's grappling with your teeth.
Indeed. I have a cat that does that.
That's a 25 to hit.
Okay.
That'll beat my 17.
And, okay, so more than one thing's going to happen. First of all, that's 13 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And each creature within 10 feet of it that can see it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be frightened until the end of its next turn.
How far
So
away
that's-
am I? 5, 10, 15,
So I got to roll for Z.
20?
Well, within 10 feet. You're not within 10 feet.
I'm not in 10 feet. All right.
Also, you at that angle, I would say it's hard to see it through the door.
Okay, that makes sense.
So Tex, Z, and Hobby.
10 feet being in another room.
You can't see it.
Can't see it.
Oh, good. Just want to make sure.
13 do it?
13 does it. A 9 does not. Z is terrified.
He is small and koboldish, and that makes sense.
This is very true. Milo, this is exactly what you wanted.
I know this, but it's still just hitting me just how like horrible of a paladin I am.
The only time I think you ever had any regrets is when you realized you were not strong enough to multi-class to get stronger.
I realized I wasn't strong. I didn't have enough strength points to multi-class to become worse.
That would be
The
absurd.
next time you level up, you can get to a point where you get more strength. You get more strength, and then you can multi-class to be, well.
Well, Hobby, by the way, does an 8 hit you?
An 8?
I know it doesn't, but it swings a tentacle at you. And,
Did we decide that my turn had ended?
well, you waited, you held your action. So
True.
you're going at the same time it is.
Right.
And it's just done its 2 attacks. It tried to hit Hobby with a tentacle and missed. It did bite you and do all this wonderful goodness to a different
Hobby,
value.
Did you pass your wisdom check?
I did. And
Okay.
furthermore, I would like to ask a question of the GM.
Yes.
Has the thing turned its back to Hobby?
You're pretty
order
sure
to-
that's its back?
In as much as it has a back.
Yeah.
There's
The-
fewer
the-
teeth on this side.
Are there fewer eyes?
Yes. Ali, well, you're pretty sure that isn't an eye.
This is enough of a back to be stabbing it in a moment. Unless there's something that Tex wants to impart first.
Tex wants to use an action surge.
Oh,
Then Tex may use an action surge.
And Tex is going to just straight up attack this time.
It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it plays out.
21 to hit.
21 will hit. What was that, Milo?
I made a joke of I think that Ellie should try again for grappling.
And once you have a
Pull
successful
its
grapple,
tongue.
pull it through the door.
grapple its tongue.
Yeah.
It's biting. Well, it's biting, so you grab it and you start pulling.
Grab it by the eye teeth.
Yeah.
I don't mean teeth in its mouth. I mean there might actually be teeth on the eyes. That is nightmare fuel.
Indeed.
Yes. So you do 11 points of damage to this thing. It's not a fan.
And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement to back off 5 feet and call in Hobby.
It uses its reaction to try to make a tentacle swing at you.
Okay.
That is a 16.
Doesn't hit a 17.
All right.
And calling in Hobby is a commander's strike, so you get plus 1d8 damage.
Am I going to do a sneak attack? Is this a sneak attack?
I think Z's within 5 feet.
Yes. Z is within 5 feet of it. Z
Poor
is
Z.
regretting many life choices right now. You don't
Okay.
need Chadwick's ability to read minds to know that Z is regretting many life choices right now.
Okay, so let's see. What do I roll to... Let's see. I'm just trying to deal the extra damage. Okay, that's nice. So I roll my dagger
attack.
to hit?
Yeah.
Okay, dagger to hit.
A
Does...
19 will hit.
Okay.
And so you're going to roll your damage. You're going to roll your sneak attack damage. And I believe Tex did an ability that allows you to roll additional damage on top of that.
Yep.
Yes, plus 1d8.
So
Okay,
that's
so there's...
7 damage to start.
Mhm. Come on, sneak attack. It's... there we are.
8 damage from sneak attack.
And a d8, you say?
And 4 more damage.
Respectable.
You stab it a lot.
Stab!
There's a lot of... You're going to say it's blood. It's
Good.
sort of greenish yellowy and it sprays out. And
Icker.
most of it goes over your head and lands on the kobolds behind you, who are still sleeping, by the way.
Oh.
but they're going to wake up and think that they sneezed or something.
Sure. And with lots of ick.
Yes. I like that all this happened technically on the monster's turn.
Yeah, well, or just after it, or
It is A's turn. A heard the instruction, so A is rolling around on the ground over here.
A is probably safer there. Unfortunately, it does not leave footprints. I thought it was a footprint thing, but oh well. A will be safer there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to draw a gray circle on the ground where A has been rolling around. That is the soot spot.
That's
Oh,
fun.
good. That's adorable.
In the morning, there's going to be a kobold with a mop going, "Why do you have to do this? I should go back to being a cabbage vendor."
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Yes, with your
What do you
cabbage
mean? You live
vendor.
here.
I cabbages.
That was the reference, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that's the only thing A does. Now it is Z's turn. Z is terrified.
Run screaming?
More of a whimper, and in the distance, hedgehogs approach.
Oh no. Oh no. Not gonna explain
I'm not
that, but I
explaining that
understand the reference. Uh-huh.
But they are still going to try to do a thing. Now, the wonderful thing about being frightened is, yes, you're not going to be doing well with attacks, but what if you do a thing where the other person has to make a roll instead of you? So they are going to cast a spell, and there is a green sphere of flame that's 10 foot wide. Now, this thing is taking up a 10-foot space,
Ooh, magic missile.
if that's what you choose to believe it is. And now I've got to jump back and forth because it needs to make a dexterity save.
Tabaxi clinging to its back. Maybe. Not yet.
That's a 9. That is not a dexterity save.
That's a dexterity danger, as opposed to save.
That makes sense. I like that phrasing.
Danger close. All right, and it's going to take 16 points of fire damage. Imagine, if you will, the worst heartburn. Imagine, if you will, heartburn from hell. And 11 necrotic damage.
How would C like to do this?
No. Z would like to do this by saying no and running away screaming. Matter of fact, Z will attempt this because it's already used its reaction this turn. So Z can go away and not have to worry about it. Chadwick, did you lock that door? Chadwick?
Sorry, was that a question to me? I zoned out legitimately.
Yes, did you lock the door?
I just walked in.
Okay, the door opens, Z runs in, Z shuts the door and locks it.
Okay, little dude, what's up?
Big.
I want you to know that during that fight that's been going on, I have been tucking the kobolds in and like making sure they're all cozy and like
One of them has a
putting on
teddy
their
bear.
sleep caps.
It didn't have a teddy bear before, but it has a teddy bear now.
Yeah, I'm just kind of making it like the most adorably like nursery like room.
You made a frat bro character, and they're being the ultimate dad.
Yeah.
Adric.
Dadrick.
Yep.
Thing is,
Yes.
Dadrick has gotten attached to A, and so here's a bunch of little like A-like people.
Pretty much, yes. And also one of them, the one that had just ran in, that's saying big, and not being able to get to the next word in the description, who has locked the door, smells faintly of urine. You might not want to tuck this one in.
You have to change the diaper first.
I just noticed that you gave me a fantasy Hilton points.
I was hoping you'd find it eventually.
Oh,
It's built into the character sheets in D&D Beyond. I didn't need to make a new item. I used your character sheets interface to make it, and I was able to change the number of how many.
yeah,
So
I
you could
see
actually
that.
spend my currency if you want.
Gosh, I hate this.
I should have given you party points.
You really should have. I think that can be changed in the future. However, gosh, I'm trying to find something else. I have a reason I'm looking at this.
Okay. Well, while you are doing that, it's technically not Chadwick's turn. Let's go on to Mech.
Okay, so based on the reactions I'm seeing, I know there's a big thing in that room. So first thing I'm going to do is initiate my rage protocol, which will make me feel better. And And then I'm going to move closer to this thing and try to hit it with what do I have? A great axe. Hit it with a great axe to
It's
start
not
with.
just a good axe.
No, it's a great axe. So I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll that and see how that goes. I've gotten a 1 again. I'm going to switch dice. These are animated dice, but still, you know. I have a
In
total
my
of
head
8.
canon, when you initiate Rage Protocol, we
Uh-huh.
hear a computerized voice. It's not your voice.
Right. Right.
It's a different sub-function that's just saying out loud, Rage Protocol initiated.
Yep.
All your lights start changing to a more concerning color.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The
They go
RGB
from the
goes
normal
wild.
blue to like that kind of thing. But yeah, I have a total of an 8 with that great axe right now, so I don't think I'm doing much if I try to
Okay.
hit it.
So, yeah, you're not going to hit the monster. But I will say, you are a murder bot swinging a great axe.
Yep.
Through a doorway.
Yep. Oh, there goes the
What
door.
does get damaged?
The door.
And how badly?
I've probably swung in such a way that I've hit I'm assuming the door's open because people are coming in and out. So,
Yeah.
I've probably hit like the door where it's attached to the wall and like shattered the door or something like that.
Excellent.
So it's like pieces on the floor now, you know?
It is kindling. There's a fireplace over there if you want to make use of it.
Right.
There's also
So
a bunch of
that's,
fire under it.
yeah, that is.
Oh, no, the
well,
fire went away. It was only there
okay.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
Magic
So,
fire.
I think I'm ready to go again at my next turn because I don't know if I get 2. I don't think I'm big enough to have two hits at this point. Am I?
Need to open character sheet to find out.
I have,
Hold
but
on.
I haven't quite figured it out.
Yeah, it's...
Let's see.
Yes, you have 2
Oh,
attacks.
I do get 2 attacks. Ha!
Roll again.
Rolling again. Here we go. Get to the right place on the character sheet. That would be smart. Okay, one more try. This one is a 9.
Well, it wasn't a nat 1.
It wasn't a nat 1.
You missed
So-
the door because the door isn't there anymore.
Right, I've missed the door.
You're able
I
to
don't know
follow
that I've-
through with your swing a little bit better.
Yeah, okay. So at the very least, this monster knows I'm gonna hit it eventually.
Yes, those are
Maybe
practice
nothing else
swings.
in the
You're,
room, but you will get him.
you're
Yeah.
ramping up.
Yeah. Oh, I can do a frenzy attack, apparently. While in a frenzy, you can make a single melee weapon attack as a bonus action on each of your turns after this one. So next time. That's for next time.
Well, you already used your bonus action to rage.
Yeah, so
So you'll have to do
Next
the bonus
time.
action next turn. Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. Chadrick, it is now your turn. You have already tucked in the kobolds. I'm not going to say that was your action.
I guess I'm gonna try and calm down the little dude that just ran in here.
Big tentacles, teeth, lots of teeth, more
I'm trying
teeth.
to see what spells do I have that could probably calm the dude down.
Don't you have calm
Um,
emotions?
What?
Or have you used up the spell slots for that level?
Oh, I have no more second level slots.
So I see.
I think I used them all up during our Fantasy Hilton lunch.
You did.
So
And not in combat.
no, again, anti-combat. Let's see.
There actually was no
what do I-
combat in that one.
Hey, I'll grab
anti-combat. So,
Barely.
but anyways, I'm
Right.
gonna try and baby Bjorn this dude.
Give me a grapple check.
Which one do I do for that?
Roll strength. A strength check.
Okay.
Athletics, if you've got it.
They're all +0, so who cares?
Oh
Nat
no!
Dude, come on. Come in for a big hug, and I'm just gonna like flop on the ground. Sorry, little dude. I got myself cozy. Do you want me
They
to
are
get you a
also trying to
scarf?
flop on the ground, but flop on a different part of the ground than you're on.
We just flop on the ground together, bro.
I'm really not happy about anything that's going on right now.
It happens.
I thought it was like dust mites or something. That's not a dust mite.
Worst
Can I read
dust
his
mite
mind
ever.
to figure out what's going on in the other room?
You can read minds of people that you can see.
So yeah, I want to just to see what he's talking about because I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, you remember the picture I shared earlier in Discord?
Yeah.
Yes, it's one of those.
What? Wait, what? Can I Arcana check to see if I know what that is? I just like the fact that I'm playing normal D&D and y'all are in battle mode.
I will let you make a roll. The question is, should it be Arcana?
Or like nature.
Oh, there's nothing natural about this thing.
Chadrick's doing Arcana, and we're just going, okay, let's stab it and see what happens.
Could it be medicine?
You're not gonna. No, you're not gonna like this because there's no bonus to it. But I will allow you to make a history roll.
I mean, the thing is that I got +0 to everything that's useful right now. I'm not really that surprised. It's a 9.
So in your adventures, where you went moaning and groaning from one planet to the next to escape the murder bots known as the Jurors, and also escape the plot. That was your main goal for all of that, but the escaping became the plot, which just made you moan and groan a bit more. Occasionally, there are really dark things in the spaces between the stars. This might be one of those, but other than that, you got nothing.
I hate this.
Where there is no light, there are dark things.
Some of them have natural fluorescence.
I have a question.
This one has natural invisibility. Yes.
Apparently.
Can I rebuke the violent through a wall?
Pretty sure you can't.
Okay, I just wanted to ask because it doesn't specify.
Look at your character sheet.
All it says is immediately after an attacker within 30 feet deals damage against a creature other than you, I can use my reaction to force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throw.
You have to do channel divinity to do this.
Yeah, but like, what if I just sit there and like, I just like osmose when the next time the thing attacks and I just through the wall?
No, that's a point in your favor for this argument because channel divinity is a big deal. You don't get to do that a lot. So
true.
Things that require you to channel divinity. I can't remember the last
time I did it, so I have to remember where that button is.
How many channel divinities do you get? I think at your level it's just one?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't do that right now because there's been no attack that you're reacting to yet. It has to be immediately after.
Yes, but can I channel my divinity and like sense what's going on in the next room?
That seems reasonable.
I will say, here's what I'm going to allow.
Yes.
The next time there is an attack, you can roll perception to see if you hear the attack. No one who's fighting right now is trying to be quiet about it.
Indeed.
But how soundproof are these rooms?
They're not.
Okay.
They're really, really not.
That's what I wanted to know.
You can still hear the snoring happening in the first room.
So should I press the channel divinity button?
Not yet. You got to wait until an attack happens because you got to do this immediately afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to actually be helpful. But otherwise, I'm getting cozy. I am not leaving this room. I am knitting a scarf.
This is an excellent plan.
I'm actually knitting a blanket. I want to knit a blanket for the little kobolds.
I am going to make you roll a check for that, but not right now. Deals damage with an attack against a creature other than you. You can use your reaction to force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throw. Okay, so we got to make sure you're using this against the thing when it attacks, not against, like, Hobby. This can go to not helpful very quickly.
I'm so concerned.
By the way,
for starting my blanket on sleight of hand.
Oh.
Crochet or knit?
I'm gonna go with crochet.
Reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
That way you only have one hook to lose instead of you lose a knitting needle and now you just got a pokey stick. Which I suppose you could use it for shish kebab. But that's a question for Tex because it's Tex's turn. It is Tex's turn.
I'm sorry. I
It's okay.
was waiting for Hobby's turn.
No, you go first. Remember, you held your action.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You have the 25 for the initiative, so you actually do go first if you're not holding.
Then Hobby, did you get a turn?
Yes, I backstabbed.
Well, no.
Yeah, but that was on my turn.
Hobby's turn, it wasn't visible yet. So Hobby tried to make it visible by attacking it with a soot-covered handkerchief.
That's okay.
Yes. It wasn't a damage-dealing attack. It was creative use of game mechanics, and I'm here for that content, although the roll wasn't high enough.
Curse it.
Can I... Oh, yeah. The Z has vacated the space.
And there's no door in this room anymore.
Yeah.
Mecca's taking care of that.
Yes.
Uh-huh. It cannot lock the door.
We could probably pull it out together. Grapple and pull. But it's not as fun as hitting it with an axe.
Yeah. Sorry, I have my browser window all... I can't open Albel Rodeo in Firefox for some reason.
Oh,
I
wow.
remember you have it open in Chrome now.
So I've got it open in Chrome, and that's on half the screen, and my character sheet's on the other half. And
Got
that
it.
means that the D&D Beyond is in mobile mode.
Ew.
So, and I spent that
Condolences.
superiority die. Anyway, I'm going to hit it with a hammer.
All right.
24 hits.
Anyway, I'm good.
Ooh, double 1 for damage.
Oh, no.
It still adds up to 6 with your bonuses.
True. And then I'm going to spend another superiority die and call Hobby in again.
Does this mean I jump my turn or something? Or
You're
No,
getting
it
an
means you-
additional attack during
Yes.
Tex's turn.
ooh, okay.
So long as you
So-
don't mind being told what to do.
Hobby is used to it. Cavill does it all the time.
But do you listen to Cavil?
Sometimes.
Well, roll your attack.
Okay, so is it distracted enough that I can backstab it again, or is that a?
It has 2 murder bots taking its full undivided attention right now. One of whom has something against doors. The
So
other
first
of whom has something against giant floating monstrosities.
Indeed. So first I roll the dagger, and that's
That's a
okay. And then I roll the dagger damage, and then I roll the sneaky damage.
Yep, because it's a new turn.
Okay. Ooh, is that what I think that is?
That is 8 damage.
Or not bad. And then what? Another of the D8.
Yes.
Then I roll the D8.
All right.
Respectable.
Indeed.
And Tex, did you have another attack?
No.
Okay.
Chadrick, check the other rooms.
I feel like Chadwick is not paying attention to that.
Well,
but,
Right.
It's not Chadwick's turn,
Chadwick.
so whether or not Chadwick chooses to do that will be something we worry
Yeah.
about on initiative 1.
I mean,
Chadrick-
I don't get to
Kendrick
tell
is
Chadrick
currently
what to do, but
crocheting, you know? It's all time consuming there, you know?
Chadwick, go crochet in each room to see if it's safe to crochet in.
there might be more than one.
There might be more than one kobold that needs a blanket.
There might be more than one Chadrick.
Yeah, one that follows directions and is useful. It has a strength bonus.
Hmm.
Yes.
Suddenly, the voice of
Yes.
suddenly the voice of every other Chadrick from every other reality appears in Chadrick's
Oh my.
Chadwick is the anti-Kevin. Actually, no, because Kevin isn't really helpful either.
Oh, that's true.
He's too
That's
distracted.
true. Kevin
Chadwick
is
and
not
Kevin-
very helpful.
I
Yeah,
don't think they get along, but I think they can fill the same niche.
probably.
But if that's Tex's turn, then we're going to move on to Hobby.
does the monster get a turn?
No, the monster goes after you.
Oh,
Hmm. That's a terrible phrase. The monster goes after you.
indeed.
Sorry.
Well, if you let it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I can only do once per turn the sneak attack. Oh well.
You can still stab it.
Hobby is going to not just stab it, but draw her other dagger and stab it twice because of 2-weapon fighting.
Okay.
So that's 2 rolls to hit.
Yes and no. I think you don't. I forget what you don't add for the second attack. There's a bonus you don't add,
And
and I
my
forget what it
ability
is.
modifier to the damage.
Oh, okay. But yeah, go ahead and roll your first attack.
Stabby stab stab. That is not going to hit, is it?
I've opened everyone's character sheet and I
11.
can't find the encounter tracker.
11.
11 will not hit, but you have another attack.
Oh, I will just simply have to stab it again. Will a 17 hit?
A 17 will hit,
So I will hit the damage.
but subtract your bonus to the damage.
Oh, so a mere 3.
Okay.
Well, 3's better than nothing.
It is, it is.
Better than I've
Death
been
by
doing.
a million paper cuts. All right. It's the monster's turn. You have
paying
backstabbed
attention.
it twice.
Uh-huh.
It spins around to face you and attempts to bite you on
I
your
would-
face.
Use my thing.
All right. Well, first I need to have it hit. Well, that's a 19 to hit. Does that hit you?
Unfortunately, that is going to hit me. Ouch.
Okay.
Shriek like a cat.
Okay, so you definitely hear that. Everyone in a house is going to hear a cat shrieking in pain. So yes, the wall might be vibrating slightly.
Should I
Um,
check?
Hobby, you take 12 points of damage from that. And what am I rolling?
What did you want me to roll a perception check?
I'm not going to require you to roll a perception check when there's a cat screaming. You know
Wisdom
something has happened.
Wisdom
What's that?
saving throw.
All right, wisdom. Oh, that's not the saving throw. Well, with the even adding the bonus in, that's math. It's under 10.
Okay, so it failed, so it's going to take radiant damage equal to what it just dealt.
So it just dealt 12 points of piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
Hobby.
Mhm.
Your head is inside its mouth right now. Just your head. It went to bite your head off. Chadrick, how do you want to do this? You're killing it with radiant damage while it's trying to eat
killed
Hobby.
on my first try.
Well, this is still a Chadwick move because you know what you just did? You're kill stealing.
I'm not even in the same room.
No, you're doing this through a wall. How do you want to do this?
I would like it to explode into a ball of beer.
We will certainly know who did it.
Yeah, because the thing is that, like, I was first thinking of it exploding into light, but you know that that's not how Chadrick would do it. Chadrick
It's a light beer.
still, as of yet, unnamed god.
You need inspiration for that, in my opinion. It's a light beer.
I've seen Hobby's
As of
character
yet
sheet.
unnamed
She
god,
already has
you
it.
know that
Oh.
would turn that entire thing into a keg.
So here's what happens. And feel free to do the opposite of yes anding and tell me, no, this is not the case. I'm trying to yes and here. Chadrick pounds on the wall in the way that an angry neighbor does when things are being too loud in the next apartment over.
There, I'm knitting. Crochet? Crochet.
Shaning.
And in the effort of channeling the will of a party god who's hungover and just wants to sleep, and do you see all these little kobolds who haven't had a good night's sleep in how long, Z? Weeks. Months.
And
Months.
you're hurting the pet cat.
Yes.
That's a
You
party
channel
foul.
this force into this being through the wall. And Hobby, when it goes to bite your head, everything goes dark because there's not a whole lot of light inside the mouth of an
Medusa-like,
abomination.
it turns into a bottle of beer.
And then everything goes light, like you're heading towards the light. And Terriish, is that you? What is it? It smells like cores? And there is a sickening pop sound. And now you are wet and smell like
A distillery. A cheap distillery.
That's a polite way to say it.
stale beer. It's not even foamy.
Unlock
At
the
this
door and
point-
come out and be like, who opened a cold one?
You.
Oh,
Maybe.
it's warm.
It is just above room temperature, but not enough to be nice.
Yeah, no. I smelled alcohol and assumed.
Oh.
I like walked in, I'm like, oh, what?
Let's be honest. Chadrick has drunk worse beers at parties.
Mm.
Absolutely. This one might even be considered, like a craft beer because it's made of a monster.
That's certainly one word for it.
You are all horrible people. Thank you.
Do you want the blanket I made? It's still dry.
I really want to say yes, but I think I need a bath first before I take that from you.
Okay, so I started it with an 11, so some slightly, not even loops, and now I ended it with a 15.
It's as you
So you got
continue
better.
as you continue to speed crochet, which is now a thing in my game for some reason. The blanket isn't a rectangle; it gets narrower in the middle because you pulled the loops too tight,
Yep.
I was
That
really
can happen,
okay.
yeah.
and then Kelly made a blanket by crocheting. She only made it during dialysis, so it turned out to be this huge blanket. But never mind about that, because 9 hours a week for doing something at dialysis.
Yep.
And
they'll
then
do
it
it.
gets wide again. Basically, you have made yourself. Oh my gosh! I just realized what you've done. Because it gets narrower in the middle and it gets wide again. The blanket you crocheted looks like the Budweiser logo.
It's perfect for kobolds too. You can wrap it around yourself, and it goes up in the back for the tail and goes down in the back for your neck.
Perfect. It's like a snuggie.
Or if they're feeling adventurous, they can try to tie it like the world's largest bow tie, and then
No, they
still go
will.
to sleep wearing it.
Oh.
So I'm going to use second wind to call out my little swarm of nanobots to heal myself back up to full and also clean myself off.
Yeah, because there was a splash zone that it got Hobby, it got the 2 kobolds in the room who are now awake and crying. It could be tears of joy, it could be tears of terror, it can be both.
The verdict is still out.
Yes. But the splash zone did include the 2 murder bots that were by where the doorway used to be.
Mm-hmm. Right. I will disengage my rage protocol before anything else happens.
Sense
Where
that I
is-
stopped a mighty party foul.
Where is prestidigitation?
I feel so proud of myself, like I'm doing my job.
Actually, let me check.
Paladin of parties. I ain't got prestidigitation.
I'm not checking your character.
Yeah. Who are you checking?
I'm checking Z. Z does have prestidigitation, so they sort of peek their head in the door and go, "Oh,
Yep.
prestidigitation, prestidigitation." They are slowly working their way through the room, prestidigitating every square foot. They eventually get to Hobby and just start working their way up the cat.
Poppy is just standing there with arms sort of held outwards and daggers pointed away from people and dripping like a terrible wet cat. Drip,
So I'm assuming.
Drip.
Go ahead.
drip.
Oh, drip, drip, drip. It's okay. Oh no,
Yes.
there's a gift for this.
There's a GIF for everything, and you know
Yeah,
this. Oh wait, no,
yeah.
that's not the right one. Here is the correct one.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so Mech is probably covered in goo at this point. Right.
No, it's all beer.
Oh, okay, covered in beer. Fine.
Covered in bees.
Yeah. I'll just turn off my olfactory sense for a while until this washes away.
It's for the best. It's nice that you have that option.
Well,
A
robots
is-
need this. You know?
A has occasionally peeked around the corner, but is otherwise still hanging out in the circle of soot. This is my safe space, a circle of soot of my own design. I will call this land my land.
Fortunately, there's not a T-Rex around. Or maybe A is the T-Rex.
Wait. It's
Curse
awfully
my
small for one.
Sudden yet inevitable betrayal. Okay, well,
Eventually
We-
thank Z for the... Not Hobby will eventually thank Z for the prestidigitation as soon as there is enough of it that Hobby can think again.
yeah, the only downside is Z started at the bottom and worked up, so some of it did drip down onto the parts that were cleaned. But imagine, if you will, that you have gone through a dryer with fabric softener, so you're very floofy.
There will be appropriate thank yous because that's what you do.
I'm just glad I remembered I had it. I kind of forgot
Yes.
with the whole, terror thing.
Right.
Understandable.
Anyway, thanks for your help.
Do you think there are more of them? I hope there's not more of them. Maybe
I
you should
hope-
hang a lot of nets around so that if there's more of them, they'll run into them.
But so will the kobolds, maybe.
But they're
Just hang
short.
them up higher.
They're short. Yeah, you could do that, I suppose.
As long as you don't have any really tall kobolds, it should be fine.
So if you find any more, run away and get adventurers.
We'll have to cancel Trenchcoat Day.
Mech does not want to know about Trenchcoat Day.
For a while, you can probably
No.
find out if there are more of these.
You stack 3
Hey.
kobolds high, and then you put a trench coat around them.
Right.
And they
She's
pre- and
picturing
they
that
pretend they're
going,
medium scale.
there's like no why. You know?
You
And,
don't
and
have
then they go to the local
cancel-
mall and try to get pizza.
You don't have to cancel Trenchcoat Day. Just put the nets over the doorways to the sleeping areas.
Oh,
That's true. That would probably work too.
that makes a lot of sense. Were you programmed by a kobold?
No, I don't think so. But I have had extensive experience with keeping things out of places.
Okay. Well, we'll let Flag know that you did the thing. We'll keep in touch if another one shows up. Probably gonna bill you for the door.
All
Sorry.
right, that's fine.
That
Here.
makes sense.
I'm sure I'm
Yeah.
carrying a little bit of gold. Here, just take
I
that.
mean, that was imported mahogany.
Here's some more.
It was balsa wood.
Oh, Mech doesn't care. They
Z
could
may have
probably use
never
some-
seen mahogany. Z doesn't know what mahogany is.
Yeah, I know.
Z heard
but
someone
Max
say
is
it
like,
once.
I mean, I broke the door, so here, have some money.
At least it broke like it was balsa wood. It might as well have been balsa wood. You hit it with an axe.
Mm-hmm. Did, yes.
A great axe.
Yes,
Great
a very
axe.
good axe.
Mm-hmm.
Millie,
Yep.
I saw the first frame of the GIF. I saw the hammer. I knew where this was going.
It's one of those things where you're like, this train is going to wreck. Yep, it did. You don't look away.
Oh.
And I'm watching it on loop.
Mm.
Anyway, we got off to a late start this evening, so what do you say we end it here?
Sounds
Great.
good. We
I
have killed the
actually
monster.
did
We-
I would like
we-
to ask A if he wants a matching blanket, though.
Ooh, could it be rouge in color?
Yes. Also,
Awesome.
can I make you a baby Bjorn?
Could it be a Kobold Bjorn?
Yes, it can be a Kobold Bjorn, so that way I can carry you throughout adventures.
It's got a neat spot for my tail.
Yes.
I love everything about this, and there's going to be people who hate everything about this, and both of those things are perfect. I love it more because people are going to hate it. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for playing. This session ended with Chadrick helping.
Yes. And
Mark
crocheting.
Mark this on your calendar. There'll be an anniversary because it's never going to happen again, I'm sure.
Perfect.
The next monster you fight is going to be a giant animatronic keg.
Chad will be screaming, "No! How could that be evil?"
Chadrick will be complaining because once again Chadrick has the skills to do this, and everyone's depending on him.
Oh, look at that.
The only problem is A would be facing the wrong way to do anything useful.
Well, you need to wear it on the back.
Template.
You swap it around and
A still imagine A is a claymore mine. There's one side that says face towards enemy. That is not on A's back.
indeed.
There we go.
Oh, there.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, and
that's-
it's
wow.
either knitted or crocheted. And what the?
They both are crocheted. That's what I've been looking for.
Yeah, they're both crocheted. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Ellie, what have you found and why does it exist?
Oh
I have
no.
no idea.
That is
Baby
that
Bjorn.
looks like a grown man.
Yep.
The
Relatively
baby
small
Yoda
one.
one's very adorable though.
It is, yeah.
I'm
All right,
crocheting
thank-
a baby Bjorn.
Okay, we're doing a Lutheran goodbye here. Thank you everyone for playing. Thank you everyone for listening. Tonight I was joined by much other people, including Beth, Ellie, Jen, Milo. EO had to step out because of internet issues and whatnot. So who's got a thing they wish to plug?
Well,
Writes
Theo's
books.
mom writes books.
Elizabeth-McCoy.com.
And speaking of books,
My website is bookofjen.net. It's got barely anything on it this month because I've been really busy and doing all kinds of other things. But once in a while I put stuff up again and you'll find that there's a bunch of Diablo stuff and video game stuff and other stuff. So that's at bookofjen.net. And I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which I have yet to record today, but I'll get there. And that is about the Diablo games and books and lore and whatever's going on with the company. You can find that at shatteredsoulstone.com. New episodes generally go up every Saturday.
and speaking of social networks,
I run a I can never get the words right. Social media.
You're right either way you say it because that's what makes it good. It talks to other networks, so it's federated. You have also blocked other networks full of undesirables.
So it's defederated.
So it's defederated. They're both correct.
It is a Schrodinger's federated social network called Elek.xyz. That's spelled the World of Warcraft way. ELEKK .xyz. It is a as I said, Schrodinger's Federation social media for those who like the geeky things.
and speaking of Patreons,
Wait, we what? It is funny that you say it when we weren't speaking of Patreons, but I do appreciate that. But I have to commit to the bit and go, but
Yes.
we weren't. Yeah, never mind. Yes, we do have a Patreon. You can help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. So until next time, this is Crash saying, every session that we do, the players make choices, and these choices affect what happens in future sessions. You don't always see how we get from point A to point B, but listener, I assure you that the point B destination is because of what was done at point A. which is a
Great.
roundabout way of saying there may, in the future, be a Chadrick fan club. What have you visited upon this world? Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.